If you have ever walked into a crowded event, you know the feeling. The noise, the pressure, the frantic mental search for the absolute perfect thing to say to a complete stranger. This visual guide breaks down the typical starting point. Looking at the top left mindset section, most people approach conversation as a performance. They sweat over finding the right words because the primary goal is to sound smart or impressive. But look at the comparison of these two brains. The mechanical brain is preoccupied with the spotlight. The organic brain relies on curiosity. Approaching a stranger with the goal of learning about them is more effective than trying to manufacture charisma. To get out of your own head, you can use a 3-part framework designed to bypass small talk and make the people around you feel at ease. The prerequisite for this to work is a shift in focus. You have to stop trying to be the most interesting person in the room and start trying to be the most interested. The first tool is a specific way to offer a compliment. Instead of praising surface-level details like clothing, we use the "you seem like" formula. Standard small talk often hits a wall because it focuses on external facts. By addressing a trait or a way someone carries themselves, you give them a reason to talk about who they are. Looking at high-impact openers, use the "you seem like" formula for positive observations, like "you seem like someone who notices little things." Following the path from the magnifying glass to the sun icon shows how recognizing character creates social warmth, making conversations naturally easier. Keep these observations positive and broad. Making a highly specific or negative assumption can make the other person feel defensive or misunderstood. By focusing on identity, you establish a positive rapport quickly, creating a natural opening for the interaction to continue. Eventually, the other person will mention a choice they've made, a job, hobby, or trip. This is where you move past the facts. Most people respond with a simple, "that's cool," which usually kills the momentum. Instead, you use a story prompt to invite them to share more. This section shows the phrasing. Ask, "What's the story behind that?" Look at the well and treasure chest labeled "instant depth." Asking for the story assumes their choices have meaning, signaling that you find their experiences truly interesting to explore. Be careful with the tempo. If you ask several story prompts in a row without contributing anything yourself, it begins to feel like a one-sided interview. To keep the balance, offer a brief thought or a similar experience of your own between their stories. Using these prompts allows a conversation to move from surface-level data to a shared narrative. If a conversation begins to feel too serious or predictable, you can use a third tool to inject a bit of energy. This is the Playful Micro Challenge. It involves introducing a small amount of low-stakes friction. In the Micro Challenges section, the guide suggests tiny debates. Notice the expert advice prompt on the sticky note. This works by giving the other person an active role, moving them from passive listening to sharing an opinion in a low-stakes game. The constraint here is that the topic must remain trivial. If the debate becomes serious or confrontational, the playfulness is lost. By adding a game-like dynamic, the interaction becomes more memorable and makes it easier for others to join the circle. There is a specific sequence to how these interactions develop. Attempting to jump into a deep, meaningful connection usually fails if the other person doesn't feel settled yet. The 3 tools we've covered are designed to build a bridge of comfort. You have to establish that low-pressure environment before the conversation can naturally progress toward anything deeper. Most people only share their real thoughts when they feel respected and free from the need to perform. These techniques, identity compliments, story prompts, and micro-challenges, provide a repeatable way to create that sense of safety. Choose just one of these to try during your next social interaction. Focus on using it to make the other person feel more comfortable. By prioritizing the other person's comfort over your own performance, you transform a high-pressure social situation into a simple exercise in curiosity.